So he is a senior chartered accountant. He has achieved uh, uh, he has achieved more experience in the field of accountancy, tax consultancy, forensic accounting and investigation, management consultancy. Sir has written a book on balance sheet decoded, which was published by Taxman. Sir has also written one fantastic book in the subject of forensic account and audit decoded, which was also published by Taxman. And list is huge. So we welcome Mr. Gyanchand sir for today's our faculty for in the subject of key insight and challenges for newly qualified chartered accountant. Welcome, sir. I invite Mr. Niket sir to introduce, felicitate our sir, Gyanchand Pipara sir. Sir, floor is yours.
Good afternoon, friends. How are you? All well? You must be very happy to receive the degree of the Chartered Accountancy because it's not that easy, I can understand. We too have passed through the same phase, that how troublesome it is to get the degree by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Am I right? So, friends, I welcome you in the fraternity of Chartered Accountant, and I understand that you have recently all qualified into the Chartered Accountancy course, am I right? And it's an initiative by the Institute that a orientation program wherein we take the new members through the HR, through interview, through the policies, through various challenges, what are there in the field which you are going to face. I can understand because of the heavy rains, the presence is not that good, but nonetheless, whatever numbers are there, whoever are there, we are here for, on behalf of the Institute, to welcome you. And so friends, I thought that it's a one full day and there will be some sessions prior to lunch, but when I came here, then only I realized that it is the half-day sessions, half-day seminar, wherein, friends, I'll be taking you through about general subjects, may not be specific with respects to any topic, but yes, particularly that when you start your practice or job or consultancy or as an advisor, whatever role you play as a chartered accountant, how the future look like? What is your view? How the future look like? Anyone? Yes, please. I can see the smile on your face. Anyone from this side? Yes, please. Bright. Bright in the sense what? Bright is what? That will be able to earn good amount of money? Earn or make? Make. No, you have to earn it. So, friends, let me give you a brief background of the Indian economy, wherein majority of you are going to put your steps, because if you are moving abroad like UK, USA, there is also a still big demand. But by and large, as you know, how much is the Indian economy at the moment? Anyone? How much US trillion dollar? What is the Indian economy? 3.5 trillion US dollar. Am I right? How much time it took? So friends, presently we are in an economy which is about 3 to 3.5 trillion US dollar. And just for your academic interest, so that you should know that what the future lies, It took 58 years, first trillion dollar to reach. How many years? 58 years. I'm born in the year 1958, but both has no coincidence. So the first trillion dollar, India took 58 years. Next trillion dollar, friends, it took 12 years. And how much the last $1 trillion, how much years India took to reach that Indian economy? How many years? 5 years. So if we talk of close to 72 or 75 years of Indian independence, we have reached in this period about 3 to 3.5 trillion US dollar economy. And friends, the next 25 years, wherein we are going to serve you as a chartered accountant, as a valuable custodian of the economy, be it auditing, be it finance, be it forensic audit, be it advisory, you are the custodian of the economy. I always consider chartered accountant as a bridge. Bridge between what? Between the stakeholders and the corporate. Because the entire world relies upon the financial statement, one which are audited. Audited by you, audited by us, we all of us. So in this field, the next 25 years, India is looking for another 25 trillion dollar economy. You can imagine that last $1 trillion took about 5 years. We are close to 3 to 3.5 trillion US dollar economy over the period of independence, that is close to 75 years. And in the next 25 years, friends, India is looking for 25 trillion US dollar. So that gives you an idea, just an iota of information, that where the future lies for you. So it's not necessary that's only auditing or only accounting or only forensic audit or GST compliance. There are lots of new fields are coming about the compliance, about the technology, about the AI, chat GPT, setting standard operating procedures, making documents for the government, etc. Everything, vast field. A doctor's field is limited. Engineer's field is limited to the particular subject. Technology person's field is limited to developing a technology. But chartered accountant field is very, very vast. So friends, it depends upon you that what goal you set. So the first point I would like to convey to you is that since you have stepped into as my friend has rightly said that the future is bright. Future is bright because the future looks like a very, very brilliant based on the past record, based on the various economies which are working in the world, based on the India wherein we are placed. Today, India is the 5th largest economy of the world. And the present government is thinking that in the next 5 years, India will be the 3rd largest economy. And it looks like, if you read the data which is being published by UK, US, China, it looks like that India will be able to reach the 3rd spot in the world economy. How it is possible? Because of help, because of the contribution, because of the dedication we everyone put as a stakeholders, as a bridge, as a chartered accountant. So friends, the first point I would like to convey, I always convey to my young chartered accountants that when you start practice, of course everyone has an aim. Since you are already have the degree with you, you have that blessing of the God with you, that the God has been kind enough to you that you have been able to succeed in the chartered accountancy, which is considered one of the toughest exam. It's easy to enter but difficult to come out with a degree. We have seen large number of cases. You must also be knowing in your friend circle. So friends, you need to set the goal. And for goal, you need to decide your plan. Change the plan, not the goal. Change the plan, not the goal. That's the first motto. In your practice, in your career, whatever role you play, whether it's a private or public or a government or a consultancy, as I said, be it auditor or in the employment or in an industry, have your own goal that where you want to reach, where you want to see yourself after 10 years, 25 years, 30 years, 40 years, because everyone is having at least 35 to 40 years of a professional career. I'm in 242nd year of my practice. So friends, that remind me a very interesting discussion. One person has interviewed Shiv Khera. I hope you must have heard. He has written a great book, You Can Succeed. It is the world famous book. So he was interviewed by one day by a correspondent. He said very beautiful things. He said कि मेरे पास बहुत लोग आते हैं, तरह तरह के लोग आते हैं, because he is a motivational speaker. So naturally, persons goes to him for motivation, for direction in the life. What shall I do? What should I do? This is the difficulty I'm facing. How should I come out of this difficulty? I've set this target. I'm not able to achieve this target. How should I come out of it? So he said that बहुत लोग आते हैं, तरह तरह के लोग आते हैं, ऑडिट चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट भी आते हैं, डॉक्टर्स, इंजीनियर्स, बिजनेसमैन, सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर, टेक्नोक्रेट्स, पॉलिटिशियन, सब जने एक ही बात बोलते हैं. उसने कहा कि मैं कुछ करना चाहता हूँ. बोले मेरे पे बहुत इच्छा है, मैंने ये बुक पढ़ी, मैंने ये किया, मेरी इच्छा है कि मैं कुछ करूँ. पर उसने कहा इच्छा से कुछ नहीं होता है, इरादा होना चाहिए. He said very nice things. I like that. इच्छा आपकी बदल सकती है, पर इरादा आपका कभी नहीं बदलना चाहिए. आप इच्छा को बेच सकते हैं, पर इरादे को कभी बेच नहीं सकते. Very nice words he said. So that same things applies to us. That in your life, set the goal, इरादा मजबूत रखिए. चेंज द प्लान, नॉट द गोल. उस गोल तक पहुंचने के लिए अगर आपको दिक्कत आती है, बिकॉज इन द लाइफ यू मे कम्स various difficulties, various problems. It's not necessary that everything is as smooth as we thought of it. And that's the life. If everything is as smooth as we thought of it, then it's not a life. Then it's a dead person. He has no trouble. So friends, change the plan, not the goal. Set the goal. In order to achieve that goal, you need to change your plan as the circumstances, as the time move, as the situations takes place. Let me share you my own experience, which could also be very great. It was in the year 2008. By that time, I have put in close to 25 to 30 years of my practice. And one of my friend, chartered accountant, he got an invitation from the State Bank of Saurashtra to be nominated as a director of the bank. But then he thought that State Bank of Saurashtra is too small a bank, because that time the business was 1 lakh crore. 1 lakh crore is nothing in today's day. Even in 2008, you all remember that the State Bank of Saurashtra, which is mainly Saurashtra-based bank, Bhavnagar was the head office. Major advantage was to the shipbreaker or the steel traders. So he thought that it's not a great bank. So what he did is that he passed on that information or that offer to me, and then I readily accepted it, because whatever comes in the life, we don't know where it will take you. Service is a service. So first point, friends, that I was invited for the interview by the high-level committee. There were 3-4 aspirant directors. So in the room, you may not be the person who knows everything. You should be the person who is able to solve the problem. अपन सब पारंगत नहीं है हर चीज़ के, पर अपने में कैपेबिलिटी होनी चाहिए कि कोई भी इश्यू हो, कोई भी प्रॉब्लम हो, उसको अपन सॉल्व कर सकें. सेम थिंग हैपन टू मी. I may not be that learned as compared to other persons, but they looked into me, they looked into the positiveness, they realized that I'm there to solve the bank's problem rather than solving or having my own motto or command, because I was there as a service. So ultimately they selected me, my name was recommended to the Ministry of Finance, Government of India, and as you know, that for appointment into any nationalized bank, ministry does the various checks, market check, CVC guidelines, CVC inquiry, various other inquiries were made. Finally, I was nominated by the Government of India on the board of State Bank of Saurashtra. Now, friends, I was having two options: either to go in the meeting, attend the meeting, eat the dry fruits, take my fees, director's fees, and come out. And second, go through the agenda, deliberate in the board meeting, devote my time and energy, and do something. So I decided the second path, that in any case I'm going to get the same amount of fees, whether I deliberate or do not deliberate. My fees was fixed. It was not upon that how much deliberation you made, as you may be knowing if you become some independent director in the company. So that gave the good message to the bank that here is a person who is there for the benefit of the bank, that he is willing to solve the corporate governance. He was willing to solve certain problems of NPA. He was willing to solve certain issues with respect to borrowers. As a result, the same bank nominated me to the State Bank of Travancore for another 3 years. There also I did a wonderful job. And believe me, friends, because of that my directorship, and I had done something, the chairman of State Bank of India, because all these associates banks are governed by the State Bank of India, they are known as associates of State Bank of India. So the then chairman, Mr. Pradeep Chaudhary, he invited me one day that, Mr. Pipara, you have so much knowledge of deliberation in the board meeting. I can see your positiveness. Why don't you train my officers? I was not into training. It was new to me. But I have a habit that whatever challenge comes, I will accept it. I said, sir, if the chairman is telling, why not? I will train your officers. So he has asked me to train. They have selected 40 chartered accountants who are their topmost officers, who deals with a large credit. And they asked me that you have to provide 2 training, one at Hyderabad, another was at Gurgaon. So I imparted training. It was 3 days training, not an easy task. I went to certain Naukar classes, etc., that how they impart, how they teach to the students. I prepared myself very well. And with the grace of God, friends, all the trainings went well. And then he invited me to the board meeting of the State Bank of India, wherein all the vertical heads, so much hall full, were present. He had praised like anything. And then the State Bank of India gave me 87 training over the period of 3 days. 87 trainings, friends, believe me. One training, one day, I was charging 1 lakh rupee. So one training, 3 lakhs rupees. You can understand how much State Bank paid me. Not only that, because of the training, I have developed a skill of interacting, imparting, teaching with wholehearted, with no other motive. So some participants started telling me, sir, why don't you write a book? As a result, I wrote a book, my first book, Balance Sheet Decoded, which is one of the best-selling books today. So it was published first in 2018 by the Taxman. Now, recently, we have come out with the 4th edition. And because of those trainings and book, I got various forensic audit. We have done all large cases of forensic audit, be it ABJ shipyard, where the fraud is 24,000 crores of rupees, Sujlon, CG Power, all India's 12 major cases, more than 50% has been audited by us. I was a part of the team. And then I wrote another book, Forensic Audit Decoded. So we have recently come out with the 2nd edition. So point I'm trying, friends, is that there's a small opportunity which came on my way, which was matching my goal. I accepted, did my best, do your best, deliver best of your ability for that particular object. Certainly, you will get lots of indirect benefit which you never anticipate, and then that's the point I want to draw your attention. And then, friends, I would like to conclude my last point. We all come from India, right? And आप सबने भगवान राम को अच्छी तरह जानते ही हैं. Why do we worship today the Lord Ram, and why not the Ravan? Whereas Ravan was more knowledgeable, he was having blessings of all the God, he was living in a सोने की नगरी लंका में रहता था, भगवान राम अयोध्या में रहते थे. परंतु एक फर्क था, और क्या फर्क था? भगवान राम अपनी नीति पे चलते थे, रावण अपनी नीति पे नहीं चलता था. तो जब भगवान राम ने अयोध्या जीत लिया तो उससे लंका जीत लिया तो लंका से कोई ट्रीटी साइन नहीं करवाया. क्या किया? सीता को लिए और वापस अपने वनवास के लिए चल पड़े. सो पॉइंट इज दैट यू मे सक्सीड इन योर करियर, in your endeavor, never cross the limit. Whatever is due to you, it does not mean that you have done something, so let's go ahead and interact into another territory which is not belonging to us. And that is the final message, friends, I would like to give. And before I conclude, friends, if you have any question, I'm always welcome. You are welcome. If you want to reach me, you can reach me. My email ID is pipara@pipara.com. We have a company here, Pipara and Company LLP, where we are close to 12 partners and the total staff strength is close to 300. We have office in Dubai, New York, Mumbai, Delhi, and Ahmedabad is our head office. So any question, friends, I would like to say that thank you, that you have done a great job, marvelous job by passing the degree. And you are at a right place at the right time. The economy is just taking off. It is on a runway. It is yet to take off. And you are there to take off that plane. You are there to take off to help that Indian economy. So if the economy will take up, naturally you will also be take up. But you have to be there at the right time, at right place with right goals and right values. Any issue? Thank you, friends. I know that our another speaker is already there. So I'm sorry that, in fact, he was to take first session, but I took the opportunity to take that session. So I welcome you and thank you, friends.
Thank you very much, sir, for such a wonderful session. And as I can see, my friends, I just want to congratulate everyone for passing this examination with flying colors. And as the Pipara sir has said that इच्छा नहीं, इरादे मजबूत होने चाहिए. अगर इरादे आपके मजबूत है तो बस मैं इतना कहूँगा कि हमको मिटा सके ये ज़माने में दम नहीं, हमसे ज़माना खुद है, ज़माने से हम नहीं. First and foremost, I would like to extend our heartiest thanks to Shri Gyanchand Pipara sir for taking the time out of his busy schedule to grace us with his presence and share such a valuable insights. Sir, your words have left us with all inspired and motivated. I also want to express our sincere thanks to our support staff, technical team, and our volunteers also for their dedication and hard work. Without your behind-the-scene efforts, this event wouldn't have been possible. And a big thank you to all the participants and attendees also for your active engagement and contribution. Your presence truly made this session a memorable one. Thank you, everyone. And now, we go with the another session very soon.